Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Jade's Fitness Bucket List. I'm recording this video in the middle of the night, so apologies for the weird lighting. I feel more sorry for myself because you can see all my spots on my face, connect the dots. But anyway, today I wanted to take you along to a week of my workouts. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you know I've built my strength, mobility and endurance to the level that it is at the moment just through playing and exploring different movements. And that's been great because I've always incorporated that fun element, but it's good to involve some type of structure. I've made a list of a few non-negotiables. The first one is minimum 2 to 3 times of upper body calisthenics strength training. So when I say 2 to 3 times, I mean that I have a really long recovery time. Unfortunately, it takes me about 48 hours, 2 days. I have to have 2-day breaks. And then if you look within a week, there's 7 days. So obviously that spreads out as 3 times 1 week is going to be 2 times the second week, 3 times again the third week, and 2 times the fourth week, etc., etc. On average, 60 to 90 minutes per session, not including all the times I end up talking to everybody I see, but the gym community is really friendly. And I find these sessions super fun, which is why they're a little bit on the longer side.
They consist mainly of the fundamental calisthenics moves. Think pull-ups, dips, and push-ups, and then doing these weighted, which honestly makes me feel like a superhero.
When I feel super strong, I do include weights. So I do these weighted with a dumbbell between my legs, but I am learning to use a plate now, like a weighted plate with a, what are they called? The belts. But the belts are too big on me, even at the smallest size. So fingers crossed I can find a smaller one.
I also include some variations of these movements, such as pike push-ups, single bar dips, L and V sits, and occasionally I'll add some pistol squats. Dragon squats are my favourite. I also like to do toes to bar and banded muscle ups and basically any kind of creative moves I can come up with. Sometimes, very rarely, I may also work with the rings. And then I finish with a dead hang. I explained on a previous video why I wanted to add dead hangs to my training.
In the last 20 minutes, I reserve that to do my mobility and handstand work. My second non-negotiable is minimum 1 run per week. I'm not training for anything at the moment. I don't have a marathon, but on average, from what I've seen on my previous runs, these tend to be anything between 8 to 25 kilometers and take me around 40 minutes to 2 hours to complete. I do this purely for mental health. It just keeps things in order. I have a very short fuse, unfortunately. I get irritated really easily, and I found the best thing for me is just to go on a little run, completely zone out. I've got into a habit now, unfortunately. I used to run without anything, but I have got into a habit of putting my AirPods in and listening to a good podcast. But it's really good because I save the best episodes of the podcasts I want to listen to, and then I really feel like running.
Numero 3 of my non-negotiables. So 1 rest day a week, minimum for me. I take rest day or days whenever I feel like it. They tend to be active rest days, so I still walk a lot because I really enjoy walking. My step count will always be high because I love walking, and it doesn't take much energy for me personally. Did I mention I love walking? I will always take at least 1 a week, but normally it ends up being 2 rest days a week, to be honest.
Nice zone 2 activity to be doing. Andrew Huberman would be proud. And so therefore, even on my rest days, my step count tends to be quite high, and even higher than the days that I train at the gym. When you're walking, it helps you recover faster from strength training. I predominantly do it because I love to walk, but it also helps for my recovery. So that takes us to roughly having 2 to 3 days per week, according to how many times I strength train, of what I like to call miscellaneous activity.
Days could be anything from the following. Sometimes I throw in a wild card, like a 30-minute cycling HIIT session at home for cardio on busy days, if you've ever wondered if I ever go on that cycling machine that's always at the back of my videos. Or it could be 1 lower body session consisting of weighted ankle raises, squats, hip thrusts, and step ups, you know, all that good stuff.
I really dislike doing lower body stuff. It's just not fun for me at all. Kill me now.
Or it could be a second run of the week.
Or,
you guessed it, another rest day. We're going to start with Friday because it was such a good week. I managed to find a 15 kilogram plate. So previously I'd only ever done a pull-up with a 15 kilogram dumbbell and it wasn't filmed. So I was really happy. I'd done 2 or 3 15 kilogram pull-ups already, so I was a little bit fatigued. My chin does go over the bar in this video though, so I'm really happy I got some footage. Eek! Super proud of that. I know it's messy, but I found like the easiest way to get stronger is progressive overload. So naturally, if you're going to increase the weight, then your form may suffer a bit, obviously, as you struggle for those last few reps. I found my strength has increased far more if I do 3 pull-ups of 12.5 kilograms rather than doing sets of 10 bodyweight pull-ups. On days I'm feeling a bit brave, I get the thickest band I can find at the gym and try some muscle-ups. I have done them with a lighter band before, but I don't want to risk some injury, just in case I chicken wing it at the end there. On the screen here, you'll also see that I wrote down on my notes the training I did this particular day. So I had some nice toes to bars as well. Very bad angle, I'm so sorry. Another of my endless goals is working on my L-sit hang and eventually getting an L-sit pull-up, but my hamstrings are so tight. I genuinely thought my legs were straight here, can you believe? This is why you have to film yourself. It's the best way to learn and improve. And then I finished off with some weighted hangs. Check out my new Oakleys. I feel like such a runner now. Although I do think the big T makes me look like I should own a guitar. I've got my favourite bum bag on as well, and the new sunglasses mean it's going to be an absolutely epic run. Here are the stats, and look at me with my little earphones. All the gear, no idea. It is Sunday, and I've woken up to a not so glorious morning. So I think I'm going to have to go to the gym. And basically I was thinking maybe I could have done a workout outside, but no, it's still the middle of February in the UK, so not great weather. I do this thing at home sometimes where I wake up where I want to go to the gym and I don't know if I'll be able to do like a push or a pull day. I also don't tend to split like push, pull, legs, etc. I tend to just do full body and play, but I'm trying really hard this year to have a little bit more of a structured approach just so I can improve in the strength gains a bit quicker. But I still end up playing because ultimately you've got to find it fun, right? So I've got some gravity fitness equipment that you've seen probably behind me in my videos and some P-bars, and then I literally try like 2 or 3 dips, 2 or 3 pull-ups, and I sort of gauge if I've recovered enough from the workouts that I've done 2 days before. One thing about me that's quite frustrating is I have a really long recovery period. Even though I eat so much and a variety of food, I sleep adequately, it tends, when I've had like a good session, sorry my voice is a bit coarse because I've just woken up, when I've had a good session it takes me like around 2 to 3 days to recover, whereas most people can train another part of their body directly the next day. For example, if I wanted to do like a push day, this is my favourite pajama top, and also I wear it outdoors. If I want to do a push day, I'll just try out like how I feel. So, you know, just go test it out a little bit. Almost a bit like a warm up. Feels good. So yeah. I think I'll be doing a bit of push today and maybe some pull-ups. Very push central today. So you can see the major difference between me doing weighted dips and then attempting to do just 3 dips on the rings. I definitely can't get the depth at all. It's so much more challenging than it looks like. The rings have humbled me, so I jump back on the normal dip bars and try some body weight dips. I'm still much stronger at pull, but doing these on the normal dip bars means that I can practice a deeper range of motion and try to tense my core to avoid that swinging, although I still swing a little bit when I increase the speed. And after all the push work and endless sets of dips, I start working on my mobility. So here I'm trying to do a back bend and also lift my legs higher up to stretch my hamstrings back home. In my favourite onesie because it's freezing and it's February. Hello, today is Monday. Have you heard that never miss a Monday, etc, etc? Well, guess what? I'm missing a Monday. I slept really badly. I went to bed at 3:30. Not sure quite why I couldn't sleep. You know, it's still going to be an active recovery day. I'll still go on a long walk. I'll pop my steps up here of how many I end up doing on Monday, so you can see that I end up walking a lot. But I don't want to work out, and it's not for lack of motivation per se. Once your body's adapted to fitness and you've been doing it as part of your healthy lifestyle, you tend to understand the difference between you just being not motivated to work out and you feeling physically fatigued and feeling like you need another day to recover. And I definitely feel that with the lack of sleep as well, I just need another day to recover. So I'm not doing anything today. Okay, people,
Tuesday morning today, and I wanted to go for a run, and I was all like, yeah, pumped, but it is raining. It's raining quite a bit, and it's not going to stop me going, but I really hate rainy runs. So yeah, it's the middle of the morning. There's no light coming into this room. I find this time the best time to go, in the morning, you know, eat your frogs in the morning, get it done. When I started running, I would get massive blisters, and I just presumed that was because the soles of my feet were not used to running. And then it became a cycle of, okay, if I wear thicker socks, and then the thicker socks would obviously prevent my feet from breathing, you know, allowing your feet to breathe, and that would just make more blisters. And then one day I actually couldn't find my thick socks, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to run with these thin socks, let's see how it goes. And it was really good, and I never got blisters again. So now I run with really thin cotton socks. Even though it's raining, they're gonna get wet in the first, 10 seconds, but yeah, and then I run with the Asics GT1000s, which have this porous top bit, which means any rain, anything goes in. I love them, but they're not waterproof. So yeah, even though that happens, because the run itself will be like hour and a half, 2 hours max, I doubt it. Yeah, I have to take them off straight away and have a shower, but it's better than getting blisters. So when I leave the house, it could be anything from 5K to 30K, to be honest. I've done that once as well without anything. And because I have such a high carb meal in the evenings at night, and I think my body works more efficiently that way, I work much better in fasted runs. So to me, anything below a 30K run, which I don't think I'm going to do today anyway, but we never know. I don't really need any food or any snacks, so I'm just fine with my little bum bag, to be honest. Maybe I might bring some almonds in a little bag inside there, but I'm mostly fine. I just need water. But apparently that helps you run more. So if you were to leave the house today and be like, oh, I'm going to run 10K, you most probably will hit 10K. But if you run and you're like, oh, let's see where we go to, then you might run 12, 13K. Completely soaked, but the raincoat saved me. It's actually boys aged 13 to 14 years old, because if that fits me, because I'm small, but also so much cheaper in the kids range. Like, this is a good brand, right? The North Face, and you can get it for half price any time of the year if you shop in kids. Listen to my little podcast, and I got a bit bored at around 16.1k. So whenever that happens, I just make sure that I finish the run on the full kilometre. So at 16.1 I was a bit bored, so I thought, okay, finish at 17. Another running tip I found is I do sometimes do a ring around a park, but it can get quite boring around your local park to go round and round, and also there's always, you know, parents with their kids and strollers or dogs running around, and when it's raining like this it can get quite muddy. So I find running in residential streets where there's not much, you know, traffic at certain times is the best, if you do have the ability to time when you're running. My feet are absolutely soaked, so my trainers are black anyway, and you won't be able to see because my socks are black, but they're soaked. I find that this is really weird. I have to eat so much more, and obviously I ate loads for the past 3 days and had a rest day yesterday, but I have to eat so much more to be able to run, as opposed to like body weight training or calisthenics or lifting weights, which I can easily do with restricting my calories for the day. But obviously, like, you guys know I eat a lot, and when I'm running, it's like acceptable for me to have my 4,000 calories a day diet, which I don't particularly need, I found, for like calisthenics or anything. I just eat a lot because I think food is yummy. You guessed it, it's another rest day. My last travelling bracelet, I used to have a whole wrist full of them. That's a mosquito bite from my travels. But look, it's hanging by 3 threads, pink, red and green. Had this on for 11 years. I'm so tired. Second rest day of the week, and I wasn't very active at all. And that's absolutely fine. I caught up with friends and we were quite sedentary, just catching up at a bar, so didn't get a chance to walk much, but had a glorious non-active rest day. Without me planning it, it seems like my routine has gone down the whole push and pull path. So I thought I'd get myself to the gym and work out on
the most neglected part of my body, which is the middle, the core. And with that, I hope you've enjoyed my week of workouts.
I was actually super excited to make this video more for personal reasons, because I eat a lot of food, like a lot. Whenever I've counted, and I've counted many times, believe me, it always falls on average around 3,800 to 4,200 calories. So roughly around 4,000 per day, which seems like a lot of calories. But anyone that knows me always seems to justify this because I move around so much and I'm always exercising. And I wanted to do this video just for myself because I was curious to see how much time I spend exercising. On social media, all they see is the fitness aspect of my life. So if you're constantly seeing reels and stories of someone exercising every day, you get this kind of warped view of them, that they're always exercising. Yes, I may exercise more than the average individual, but not particularly that much. And after completing this video, I'd say on average, I'm doing like 1 hour per day, I'd say on average. And when you think about it, that doesn't really justify the 4,000 calories I eat. So I find it so hard restricting calories, even by 200 to 300. And the reason why I've asked myself these questions is because a lot of the time I'm eating, but I don't particularly feel super hungry. I just really like eating because food is So that's an average week for you. If you think that seems like a lot, please remember that I've been an active individual for many years in my life. This only ramped up a little bit more during the pandemic when I realised I also wanted to be stronger. My body's really adapted to movement, so much so that, to be honest, on the days that I don't move much, so if I'm ever on a really long haul flight, for example, I just feel like a battery chicken and my mental health plummets and I get really sad. So movement for me is a non-negotiable every day, just like drinking water or going to sleep every day is for a normal individual. There are so many fantastic adaptions that your body goes through once you start incorporating exercise as something that you do on a regular basis. Just 2 weeks, 14 days of exercising in hotter conditions already shows lots of body adaptations to allow you to work out in those hotter conditions. Your body's protective responses get progressively better. You sweat more heavily, your vessels dilate even wider to deliver heat-laden blood to your skin, and the total volume of blood in your body increases, allowing your heart rate to stay lower during exercise. But this is the best bit. The acclimatization process takes about 2 weeks, which I find mind-blowing. And we've all heard of the athletes who train in high altitude to increase the amount of red blood cells in their body so they can pick up more oxygen and therefore run at faster paces with lower heart rates. There's so many adaptations that the body can do in our lifetime that don't just involve genetic adaptations that happen over generations and generations. I don't have a set time that I tend to do these things, but I do have a preferred time. I would much rather go to sleep really early and wake up super early and get all my workout and everything done because I really look forward to it. It gets me out of bed and then I can focus on going to work and doing all my work stuff, which is predominantly sedentary. I'm sitting down on a chair, even though I'm still trying to figure out how I can spend most of my time squatting and on the computer, but alas, I'm sitting down on a chair or standing up and working on a laptop most of the day, so quite sedentary. Please give me a like if you've enjoyed me taking you about this week, and yeah, subscribe if you haven't, and I will catch you in the next video. Ciao!